Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we are tearing into the latest chapter of Bibliomancers, and we're going to hit every single key plot point. So let's just dive right in.
So we are tackling Chapter 103, and wow, this one was absolutely packed. We got some crucial conversations, some really strange bargains, and of course, that cliffhanger that has had the entire fandom completely losing it. So let's break down exactly what went down.
All right, here's our game plan. We've got 6 key moments we're going to walk through. We'll start with Jack's big debrief with Aya in the maze, then we'll cover the team's prep and a very weird deal with the demon. After that, it's back into the tower, through that golden door, and we will finish up with that absolutely bonkers final reveal.
Okay, so the chapter kicks off with Jock finding Aya right in the middle of the maze. She's still reeling from that whole Adobe City experience, you know? Her head is spinning, and she desperately needs some perspective, especially about that vision of her grandfather.
And this is the question that is just eating her up inside. She saw this shimmering image of her grandfather, and when she called out to him, he actually turned. She is just torturing herself, thinking she missed her chance, and she needs to know, was it even possible to talk to him?
And Aya's breakdown of this is just fascinating. She's got 2 completely different takes. Theory number 1 is kind of the simple one. No, it was just a recording, a loop, nothing you could have done. But then she drops theory number 2, and this is a potential game changer. She brings up the kebabs that Jock touched, the ones that became real, and she wonders, what if the same rule applies to people? What if physical contact is the key to making them real?
You can just feel how much regret Jock is carrying, but Aya, being the amazing friend she is, just puts everything in perspective. She reminds Jock of the insane pressure she was under. She was totally alone, worried sick about her grandfather, dealing with her ADHD, and had literally just escaped hell. The fact that she came away with any clues at all, that's a massive victory.
So then their conversation shifts over to Nyx, and Jock clears up a few things for Aya. First, this wasn't some fire and brimstone hell, it was literal hell, just a black, empty void. And Nyx's whole attack was psychological, just messing with her head, saying nasty things about Frida. Oh, and the weirdest part? Nyx claimed that if Ja just stayed in that void forever, it would cure her ADHD. What a twisted offer, right? Ja, of course, told her no way.
So that whole debrief flows right into the next part of the chapter, where they stop looking at the past and start planning for the future. And this gets into some heavy ethical questions and, some very practical concerns like who's feeding the cat.
And if there's one word that defines this section, it's agency. The right for every single person to make their own choices, even if those choices are incredibly dangerous. This idea comes up over and over again.
And Maz puts it perfectly right here. Jank is worried about Groucho going back into the tower. She's trying to protect him. But Maz lays it out. Groucho has already made his choice. He argued for his own free will, he's determined, and they have to respect that.
And in between all this serious talk, we get a couple of great little practical details. First, Aya agrees to look after Nixie the cat, which is awesome. And second, we get a quick check-in on Harry. He's trying to get settled in at his new pottery studio, but he hasn't actually practiced pottery for the 500 years he was stuck in heaven, so that's going to be tough.
Okay, now things get wonderfully strange. Jack, Frida, and Nyx have a little pre-arranged meeting, and they literally call it a minute of torture. It's part of a deal they made, and it is every bit as bizarre and intimate as it sounds.
So here are the terms of this very unique agreement. Frida ties Jock's hands, Nyx ties her feet, and then the torture begins. Frida tickles Jock's feet with ostrich feathers for a full minute. And what does Jock get out of this? Nyx has to promise to leave them alone. It's such a weird, playful scene that just perfectly shows you the dynamic between these three.
And this line from Nyx just captures the whole mood perfectly. Frida suggests using a gag so Jack's laughing doesn't wake everybody up, but Nyx shoots it down. Why? Because she likes to hear the screams of delight. It just drives home that this is all completely consensual, and honestly, pretty funny.
So after the tickle torture is over, the mood shifts. Hard. The fun and games are done. It's about 1 in the morning, and then they hear it. The song. The signal that the portal to the tower is open again. It's go time.
But right at the last second, Jock hesitates. For a moment, she thinks about just sneaking off alone, to keep Frida safe. But then she remembers that whole conversation about agency. If she leaves Frida behind, she's taking away her choice. She'd be a hypocrite, and she can't do that. So she wakes Frida up, gives her one last chance to back out,
And Frida's response is just immediate and powerful. She makes it crystal clear. If you are walking into danger, I am walking beside you. This is her choice. It's an amazing declaration of her loyalty and love.
And with that settled, the decision is made. The team assembles, and they get ready to face the tower one more time. The whole crew, Jack, Frida, Harry, Draco, and Groucho, steps through the portal into the familiar chasm room. But things immediately go off the rails. Right as the portal is closing, Nixie the cat darts through. Before Jack can even react, Groucho's amazing reflexes kick in, and he snatches the cat right out of the air. The portal shuts, and just like that, Nixie is officially on the team.
After that burst of chaos, it's all business. They know this part of the tower like the back of their hands. They cross the illusion, they push the stones in the right order, they go through the golden portal, and then they grimly swallow those disgusting peas that open the final door. It's become totally routine for them.
So, they've done all the steps, they've solved the familiar puzzles, Jack grabs Frida's hand, they take a deep breath, and they step through that newly opened portal, ready for whatever is on the other side.
And what they find is this: a completely white room. The floor is white, the walls are white, and the light seems to be coming from everywhere and nowhere all at once. It's sterile, it's unnerving, and it is shockingly familiar.
And that's when the realization slams into Jakar and she says the words that end the chapter. They haven't moved forward. They haven't found a new level. They've somehow circled all the way back to the place Harry just escaped from. They're back in heaven.
So what in the world does this mean? After everything they went through, they've landed back in the one place they know is a prison. So that leaves us with the ultimate question as we wait for the next chapter. Is this some kind of glitch, a safe haven, or have they just stumbled into the most dangerous level of the tower yet?